Hello there everyone, Ash and Flash here, and welcome on into a very special video. Today we're going to be combining 3 sets here, a part of the new Mini Marvel Modular series, that's what I'm calling it. And it can combine and connect to create this incredible Marvel street. And I'm so excited for the future of this. I think that the amount of minifigures in here in the lineup is a lot of fun, and we're not just getting comic book stuff connected to this, we're also getting movie stuff. So I feel like that's really exciting for future shows and MCU stuff. There may be some surprises here throughout this video that you're going to see, so you could find time codes and chapters down below if you want to hop around to the different sections. So the first set here, we have set number 76311. This is the Miles Morales versus the Spot set from Across the Spider-Verse. It retails for $49.99 USD or $64.99 Canadian. This next one here that we have, this is set number 76317. This is Peter Parker's apartment. This is retailing for $54.99 USD or $64.99 Canadian. The price of that has gone up. It should have been the same price as the bodega. And then the biggest expansion we've had so far is set number 76324. This is the Spider-Man versus Oscorp. This is retailing for $139.99 USD or $169.99 Canadian. Again, this was originally $10 less. So altogether, this is going to cost you $245 US and $300 Canadian. Altogether here, there are a total of 16 minifigures, a couple different heads that you could swap in and out. 4 of them are new characters we've never gotten before. 5 if you include Harry Osborn in the Green Goblin suit. And at the time of recording this, of the 16 figures, 7 of them are exclusive to their respective sets. Which, by the way, the Spot I've upgraded with the Bluey set. All right, so here is everything all set up with just the characters in action and different things and posed around here in the city to make it feel like it's actually alive. I have a feeling this is how the LEGO Superheroes team has designed and planned out the street for now. I think that just going off of the instructions, you have Oscorp here straight like this, as well as here, they also have it so that there is no roof on the bodega. And then, of course, I'll show you, just in case you missed the review for Peter's apartment, how you transform it from being on the ground to actually being a second level apartment building. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to walk you through and just show you all the different modulars and different combinations that you can do here. All right, so just looking at the 3 sets on their own, they're each very unique and interesting here. All right, so here is everything separated into the individual modulars. So you can really customize. You've got a total of 6 sections that you can customize and turn and put in different places. Of course, these 2 buildings also actually have 2 layers. So there's a couple of different combinations that I'll try out and show you here with that. We went through this in the review, but because both of these are Venom related, I think that they are not meant to actually be separated. You can see when I separate them that it does not separate as easily because it's not designed that way. I think this is going to forever be a full modular building here, which I don't mind because, again, it is sort of referencing Venom. But we do have 2 corner sections. Of course, we have here the side street, which has a spot on the back. And the bodega has the opposite side here. So you could see over here that we've also got spots for you to connect it. So the first way that the actual instructions tells you how to connect this is by just sliding this over. You slide that over, so there's no official way to connect the bodega, but because it is a corner, it must go here. So this is the street at its most basic level here. And it's interesting because if you take a closer look at Peter's apartment, what do you notice here? The sidewalk doesn't go all the way here. And that's because a lot of people are misunderstanding this. This is not meant to be a ground floor. Yes, it has the street tile number there. I understand that. That could add to some confusion. But if you look, the doorway opens inwards. Why would it do that? You've seen before. Well, on top here, there's actually this grate. It connects to these 2 dark tan pieces. What you do is you take the grate and you attach it here to those 2 studs. And then you've got a guardrail. The guardrail is so that you can separate this here. And again, it's called an apartment. You take it here and you can place it on top of the bodega. Why do I think it's the bodega? Well, the bodega doesn't have a roof, so it has to go there. It has nowhere else right now to go on top of something. So I think that completes this, because this, of course, does have a roof. So I think this is pretty much completing everything that they have planned here. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the combination that I've seen so many people talking about and pointing out and wanting to do, Because this is dark red on top here, a lot of the color scheme for the bodega is also dark red. So I'm going to go ahead, slide this over, attach that, and then put this here. And I think this does look really nice together, and this feels more in line with the bodega, especially given that this is Miles's apartment. I think that is a lot more fitting. I don't really like how close Peter is to Oscorp, but I guess it could make sense for how the spider bit him. It just sort of walked over there, I guess. But I like the look of this, and it would make sense given that these two things are Venom movie adjacent, and then these should be Miles related. So I like the idea and concept behind this here. All right, so here it is with everything populated. I think this is going to be ideally how people display things, because I just love how this looks with everybody alive, recreating different scenes and moments here across the different sets. I really am dying to see like where we're going to go from here and how they're going to avoid not blocking certain play features. So I've gone ahead here and added the mini mart over here in this spot. So I showed this in the review. It's easy to remove this stuff from the top of the jeweler. And I just want to try this here and see what this looks like. Just for fun, right? That's what we're doing here. So it does connect. It's fine. I think it looks good. Just not so much on the balcony. Then, of course, we're back to having this without a roof. I've added Miles' apartment on top, which I think adds a lot. Like, this is a huge, tall building, bigger than Oscorp now. So I don't like that. But that is cool that you can continue and add that. Even though this was a roof, you could still add something to the top of it. It just leaves now the jewelry without a roof. Again, just being silly and weird here. I've even swapped around the orders here of Peter's apartment. Here's what it looks like with the two corner buildings attached to each other. This actually now looks like an alleyway where the trash can is. So that's kind of interesting. And again, this is going to allow us with these two corner sections to continue to have buildings going off towards the back and everywhere else. If you're connecting Oscorp to the side of the bodega with the apartments on top, you just got to lift up Peter's bed there and you can attach it like so here. So that actually makes for quite an interesting corner here. I'll continue to spin and show you how this works and looks. It's definitely interesting to see. I'm intrigued by the fact up there on the top, the roof of Oscorp is actually the exact same height as Peter's apartment on top of the bodega. Again, this to me confirms that this is designed specifically to go on top of the bodega. But you'll notice as well, all the play features are still open here, which I think is really cool, especially with this one sticking out. And I thought I had them. I was like, oh my goodness, is the play feature going to block it from connecting Oscorp on the other side? It doesn't, because the corner little building here is the little spot with the garbage can. So that prevents it from interfering with any play features. Here's another combination here, keeping that corner and just extending the street out that way. And just because I've got a feeling that people are really going to like the Miles stuff all being together, here's what this looks like with the apartment next to it. I think this right here, right now, is my favorite setup so far, just because of the sizing here of each of the sections. And again, there's still room for more down there. I don't know, I could continue to go on and come up with different combinations, but I think that for now, this I might leave how it is, keeping the tan buildings together and the dark red Miles stuff there. Also, I just realized as well, the alleyway actually is designed so that you can have the play feature be able to pop open the glass. So they've clearly put a lot of thought into this. Now, this may shock you and open up a whole ton of possibilities, but believe it or not here, all the Harry Potter Diagon Alley stuff lines up and connects perfectly. So I think that's crazy if you wanted to actually combine your Diagon Alley shops. I've actually seen some people integrate Diagon Alley, the big one, into their modular cities and stuff. So the fact that we could do that on a smaller scale with these smaller Diagon Alley shops opens up a huge ton of possibilities. Because something like the ice cream shop really could belong in any city. So I'm just going to leave this here and go nuts with this idea. I'm going to throw two ideas out there for other summer sets. One of them being here for the Spider-Man 2 subway car. I think that the scale of this feels like it could belong in any Lego City, including regular Lego City sets that we'll talk about in a second. But also just for Marvel, I'd really love to see somebody create something like the Monkey Kid sets, where you've got that monorail track going around. It would be really cool to see somebody loop this around as well for this. And I know as well, sort of separate to this video, but people have been asking me to show this with another set coming out on August 1st. So this is the Lego City train station that releases on August 1st in North America here. And yeah, that looks pretty cool. I think that works perfectly. Great spot to put in your city, having them fight there. I love how this looks. It's a little tight in some spots you just saw with the webs and everything, but very impressive. All right, and here it is with Galactus, which you saw in the thumbnail. For me, that adds so much to this. I think just adding scale, adding the Fantastic Four in here too is just so much fun. But just seeing him next to the skyscrapers there with Oscorp, I love this a lot. It makes me want a Baxter building, not necessarily even at the scale of the big Marvel modulars, but I think that it would work well as a small playset like Oscorp or something like that. They could definitely include the Fantastic Car or something. There's a lot here, of course, from the Fantastic Four, but I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments about seeing this all side by side. How are you going to display them now that you've seen the corners, the different combinations and all that? Comment down below what buildings from Marvel you'd like to see them do next in this mini Marvel modular setting. If you care, you can check out at the end here, I'll link combining all the big Marvel modulars from the Bugle to the X-Mansion. And then also, we should be very soon here on the channel combining Arkham with all of the modulars from this last year and all the superhero ones too. So there's so much to come here on the channel. Be sure to subscribe, turn the bell notification so you don't miss out on future Lego Marvel set news and reviews just like this one. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. Hope you all have a great day. I'll see you all in the next one.